The U.S. Supreme Court has ruled in favor of Loper Bright Enterprises, a New Jersey-based fishing company, in the case of Loper Bright Enterprises v. Raimondo. The ruling, which is viewed as a win for the right and a loss for the left, actually restores the balance between the branches of government and returns power to the citizens of the United States. The case stemmed from the 1976 Magnuson-Stevens Fishery Conservation and Management Act, which created the National Marine Fisheries Service under the Department of Commerce. The prior administration's Department of Commerce enacted a rule requiring fishing boats to pay a $700 fee for the regulation-required monitor, a steep cost for small business operations. The Supreme Court reversed a 4-decade-old practice that granted the executive branch agencies broad powers of interpretation when a law was vague. Critics argue that this ruling gives power to the court, but this is part of the hyper-polarized politics in the United States, as the court has determined that regulations with the power of law cannot be created by the executive branch and must be returned to the legislative branch to draft a new law that provides clarity. The Biden administration defended a case initiated by the Trump administration, not a case about right versus left or conservative versus liberal, but a case between the executive branch usurping authority from the legislative branch or the legislative branch deferring its lawmaking authority to the executive. The Supreme Court, often seen as a conservative court, actually consists of 3 distinct parts: conservative originalists, center-right moderates, and liberals. This division has led to a surprising number of 9-0 rulings, and pairings of the center-right and center-left in rulings are also common. However, this ruling broke along right-leaning lines by ruling limits on bureaucrats' capacity to formulate regulations, which the administration's political ideology or any other future administration can influence. Congress can no longer defer its lawmaking powers to the executive branch departments, and lower courts have guidance not to defer to the bureaucracy or interpret law from the bench. This decision will make the government function slower and more deliberative, which may allow states to fill gaps and create laws based on local determination. This is a win for the democratic process, as it shifts responsibility back to the elected representatives of the legislative branch. In certain cases, an activist judge may rule in favor of a political ideology, but this decision ensures that any such ruling will lose on appeal. This will cause unrest within the executive and legislative branches in the near term, but it will encourage them to collaborate in enacting new laws or amending existing ones in the future.